Pain heals. Chicks dig scars. Glory lasts forever.
Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Shout out to the 19. As always, we have some breaking news for you. By the way, I have a couple videos coming out. I have one about the team and the changes that should be made and so forth that actually I was going to put out yesterday, and then the DeWanna Bonner stuff broke, so that'll come out later today. And now probably pushing that and another video back a little bit because we got some more breaking news. You can welcome Aari McDonald back to the team. The Fever said, you know what? We're not even going to bother trying to trade DeWanna Bonner. We're not going to get anything for her. We are going to move on. They have waived her. I believe it saves about what, $135,000 from what they were paying her, which that is obviously gets freed up. They already had, I think, 30 some thousand already freed cap space. So they signed Aari McDonald. So now that's 11. I believe they will. It may not happen right away because now that they're back to 11, they may, take some time and look and do some research. And I talked in that other video that'll come out later about some possibilities of players that are out there that are not signed to maybe bring in that 12th. So they may wait on that. They may be like, okay, we've got this money. Now we're going to take a breath and let's see how we best fit, because Aari McDonald, I think Aari impressed everyone in the few games that she was here. I think she's a solid backup. The concerns that I have, and I'm not, because I know people get upset. I'm not pissing on the signing at all. Like, in general, I get it. I understand why we're bringing her in. It's not about Aari McDonald. It's not even complaining about bringing in Aari McDonald. It's just, starting to think about, okay, well, now where does she fit in this roster, right? That always matters. That's why teams are not always, we're going to have all these great players and we're just going to bring in all these great players and then somehow make it fit. Sometimes you can make that work, but not always. It becomes, well, what you have to have a certain level of talent, obviously, but then it becomes what players complement the other players in what it is we're trying to do. Where's the flexibility in the lineup, who almost muted, who is a backup for whom, and that sort of thing. And so it becomes, where do they fit? And with the Indiana Fever, DeWanna Bonner, believe it or not, was one of our size players. I mean, I know she's not big, but she's tall and she's long, right? She's got that wingspan. And we already know we didn't have a backup for Aaliyah Boston. Now, Damiris Dantas is not a backup center. She's more of a power forward, but I think she's played really well. By the way, 10 points for her last night, but she's also now going to be missing some time for the Euro tournament with the national team. And so the Indiana Fever have gotten even smaller, and we're not playing Michaela Timpson. I don't get it. I'd go to this article, but it's behind a paywall. Indy Star's done that a lot. I think they're cashing in on the traffic from Caitlin Clark and the Fever. But if we look at this, right, so they haven't even updated this yet. But DeWanna Bonner obviously not here anymore. She was 6'4" and long, second tallest player on the team. And now we've added Aari McDonald, who we all know is not exactly tall. Sydney Colson's only 5'8". Caitlin Clark. I mean, I'm not worried too much about the guard heights, but you look at the rest of the team with Bonner gone. Timpson's 6'2". Now, again, Timpson's another player that plays bigger than her height, but she's not playing. I'm thinking she has to, even more so. Brianna Turner's been playing a little lately. I've been unimpressed, but unfortunately, she does have some size. But this is not a team with a whole lot of size. Kelsey Mitchell's only 5'8", Natasha Howard 6'3", but Natasha Howard, I think she's pretty much done. She's kind of going through the motions. She gets beat a lot defensively. She doesn't get up in the air. So it's going to be interesting. And I'm just bringing in my thoughts, my reaction, thinking out loud, having just heard this news. Like, I literally got onto X and saw this, and it was 7:32 a.m. on I think a Pacific time. I checked this out. I'm doing this now. It's like 7:39 because I wanted to get this out to you. And here are my concern, or I don't even know if it's concerns, is my curiosity as to how this is going to work. Because if you remember when we were talking about, hey, we got to bring on Aari McDonald, everyone was impressed, bring her onto the team. She kind of changed things up. And I said, yeah, okay, I get that. But what I looked at is the roster. Said, okay, well, if you do that, and a lot of people were like, get rid of Bree Turner, bring in Aari McDonald. And I was like, well, I get that. right? I was not a thrilled person with the Bree Turner signing. However, my thought then becomes, okay, well, Caitlin Clark's your starting point guard. Sydney Colson is your backup point guard. And now you've brought in another backup point guard. How is that going to look for the team? Who is getting minutes and who is going to be reduced in their minutes in order to keep these players happy and get McDonald playing time? Because it makes no sense to sign Aari McDonald and then not play her, and she's not going to be playing DeWanna Bonner's role on this team. So, we've already seen Sydney Colson and Caitlin Clark play a little together. But again, I'm not liking what I'm seeing in terms of her role in the team with Sophie Cunningham ever since the Connecticut Sun incident. Sophie Cunningham is not getting touches. She's not really getting the ball. She's not playing as much. She's not as involved with the team, which is concerning. And so I'm not sure how this works. And I hope it does, right? Again, I'm not saying, oh, this is a disaster. How could they do this? I'm just thinking, okay, they signed this player, but here's the roster we have. Because what does this mean? Is Caitlin Clark going to play less? Or is she taking these minutes from Sydney Colson? Are we going to run a really small, really, really small team? And now Sophie Cunningham's going to have even more of a reduced role. Maybe Lexi Hull, who's playing phenomenal, by the way. What did she have? 15 points, 11 rebounds last night. Is she going to play less? Where are these minutes? Because these minutes are not going to be DeWanna Bonner minutes. They'd have to be like Sydney Colson, Caitlin Clark, Lexi Hull, Sophie Cunningham, Kelsey Mitchell minutes. So how does the offense look? And the other thing in terms of a concern, and again, I have to see it because when I say off the ball, there's so much to that. Like, what is off the ball? The off the ball with Caitlin and I that I don't like is when we do the right standing in the corner thing, or she's setting picks away and there's no intention of getting her the ball. If you're actually going to have someone else bring it up and you have set plays with Caitlin Clark where she's coming off multiple screens or she's coming off staggered screens, she's running off multiple screens around the baseline to come out and catch and shoot, that's fine. But if you're not doing that, then I'm concerned about off the ball. And if you're going to play Aari McDonald and Caitlin Clark together, it sounds to me like that would mean Caitlin Clark is going to be off the ball even more than she has been already. And I think that's part of the problem that we've seen with her performance. The missed threes aren't bothering me. Shooters go through that. Now, the attitude that I'm seeing from her, the body, and I don't mean the body language, the way people were complaining about, oh, she complains about the refs or she throws her hands up when a player should have passed it to her. But I'm not, well, we talked about this in another video, so I won't go in depth, but the fire is not there. I'm not seeing the fire. And so I'm really curious how this is going to work with Aari McDonald. I hope it works great, but I just don't know where the minutes come from and where the offense looks. Would I rather have Aari McDonald here and playing than DeWanna Bonner pulling that absolute BS crap on the Fever and the fans? And by the way, the Fever, to be fair, didn't handle this any better than DeWanna Bonner. You're gonna tell me they didn't have an idea, that they didn't know what personal reasons meant, and they allowed her to sit out all of this time and have people being concerned for her because they're worried about maybe it's a health issue with her or it's a health issue with a family member. There was that rumor going out that someone in her family was ill and all this, and it turns out she's just a spoiled little brat who was throwing a hissy fit about her playing time because she thought she'd be a starter and a big piece on this team, and it turned out she wasn't. So, yes, I would rather have Aari McDonald, but I'm curious to see how it fits. That's going to be interesting going forward as to how this fits. Oh, and the other thing, real quick, to Caitlin Clark's missing threes is I also think part of it is the threes she's taking. Almost all of them seem out of frustration and that she's working hard to get one, realizing that if she just does nothing but run this offense White's running, she's never going to get a shot. And so there's a higher degree of difficulty as well, which of course doesn't help your shooting percentage. But anyway, I'm going to leave it there. There you go, folks. Aari McDonald is on the team. Really interested to see how it goes. I hope it is great. I want to see what the combinations are going to look like and the rotations are going to look, and are the players going to be happy, right? With DeWanna Bonner's gone because she wasn't happy with her minutes. If I'm looking at this objectively thinking the WNBA is doing the right thing, I'm thinking, well, the minutes have to come. She's replacing Sydney Colson, but Sydney Colson stayed on the team. So it's going to be interesting to see how it goes. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. As always, appreciate you so much checking out this video. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. We're like, I think, under 60 away from 13,000 now. We had a really good day the other day, like a day that we had back when the channel started. Yeah, so I'll talk to you in the next video.